Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US stocks for the 11th of August, and today we'll cover Apple, Facebook, Amazon, Square and PayPal. So with PayPal here, it's really quite simple in that from wave 4 here we're looking for wave 5 to the upside, and we're looking for 5 waves. So we've got 1 and 2 here. We've got 5 waves in this third wave here, the fourth wave, and then we'll see the fifth wave coming to this space here, because the extensions in wave 3 here, wave 1 and wave 5, can be roughly the same length. So let's just bring that down to say 10 here, and yeah, we should see a larger correction unfold at this point. Unless we get an extension to the upside, so I'll just need to pay attention to this first move to the downside here. But otherwise this fits in quite nicely, and so it's at a major level here, so we can expect a correction to come into play there. And Square is the next stock that we're going to be looking at, and obviously that's the same as PayPal in that we've got our 5 waves to the upside. So from the low here we have 1 and 2 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and all the way up for 5 of 3 and 4 here. So I think we looked at this last time when we were sort of thinking a wave 4 could be here, or it could be just over here on this low here that hadn't happened at that point in time. But now looking at PayPal, we'll need to look at this as wave 1 and 2 here, and 3 here and 4 here, and moving up for wave 5 for a larger top in play here. So just be aware of that. In both cases the current move down can pull back to the 40% or 38.2% thereabouts. Sometimes it's spot on and sometimes it's not, so we've moved past that. It just wants to cover that gap obviously, but we should see another little move up here unless we need to put wave 4 over here. So if we see a move back to the 130, then we know that we've got a top in play at that point, and we'll need to put wave 4 over here in this case and look at the 5 waves in this sequence. If you've traded long from here, I would have told you to get out at the next level, so hopefully that was the case there. Okay, let's have a look at Amazon. So let me just, okay, so pretty much on track here. Chart's moved across a little bit. So it looks like we've got a ABC correction here for this. So this would be the A wave, the B wave and the C wave coming into play here. And we've got to be careful about that. It's not really giving us 5 waves up there. I'll just go into the 4-hour chart for a second, just check on this. Right. What I was thinking then is that the A wave, the B wave and the C wave for wave 4, of whichever degree may be here, but here as 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So then a little ABC pattern, and then we should see the 3rd wave up and the 5th wave up as well at that point. So currently this, if we view this as 5 waves here, it's not quite on the money, but it does look like we've got 5 waves in this structure, so that's good, and that means that we should see the retracement, well, as a starting point as always, just the 50-60% retracement level there. So it can still come down further at that point. I was thinking that you could go long above the 3200 area through here, and a target to the upside, a bit like the S&P 500 really, at 3400 to 3500, we could start looking at that. But let's just get an idea. I mean, it does look like we've got wave 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here. That looks sort of okay, so we should see an A and a B and a C wave that can pull back to the trend line here, so be mindful of that, and then a push up from that point. Of course, wave 4s can get bigger and uglier, and we just need to be mindful. I mean, if that is the top there, then we've only got 3 waves up here. We'll have to look at that as down for 1 and back for 2. It doesn't really look like that in the internal structure, but just need to be mindful and double check everything and look at the other side all the time. So, but anyway, takeaways here are that we have a correction in this space here. So even if this correction got bigger here, we would still go to the upside because of this first leg here for this. So we should end up at 35 for Amazon, and we'll track that to the upside. It's great that we're on support. We're sitting on a level here and we can go long above this top. I've just brought that down to 32. So any breach of 32 would be fine to the upside. It does look a little bit impulsive down through here. So maybe an A and a B and a C wave down here first, and then up from that point. Rightio. Facebook is next. I mean, just before I go there, I forgot to talk about this. So it's possible, I've got 2 scenarios going. I don't know which is the correct one yet, but from this low here, wave 4 coming up to wave 5 of 1 here, or this wave 4 here coming up to 5 of 3 here. So this is something that we're going to have to work through. Obviously, if this is number 1 here, we're going to have a deep, sharp correction. And I kind of think that that's on the money, you know, because when you think about the S&P 500 coming up to its old high at 3,400, or just before that, or 3,996.52, I think. So, you know, that could be sold off quite quickly, you know, so we need to be mindful of that. But either way, we'll track these 5 waves up here to the finished, if that's going to be the case, especially if we get a new high above here, then we know that we'll be on the right track, and then we'll be able to just pinpoint the top. So that should be cool. Okay. Facebook is next. So a bit the same with Facebook as well. I'm sort of looking, this is why I've got to readdress the S&P 500 as well, and then take another closer look at the NASI. I can see this structure in the S&P 500. Basically what I'm saying is from the low here to the current high up here, looking for the top of wave 1 here. So whatever it's going to be for Facebook and Amazon and so on, then it's going to be the same for the NASDAQ and the S&P 500, isn't it? You know, so if this is counting 5 waves up, then we need to look at some of these markets. I kind of like the S&P 400, actually, the mid cap, because so this is a daily chart for that market. Now, there's a couple of problems with this, but there's a couple of good things with this too, is because with the S&P 500, it's a little bit tricky to count this first bit here, but you have to say here that looking at this would be wave 1 and 2 here, and then wave 1 and 2 and 3, ABC for 4 and up for 5 here, and then a simple 1 to a simple AB3 here, ABC. So this really counts quite nicely as wave 1, doesn't it? I mean, this as wave 3 here, you know, could be longer. And the problem with that is also wave 3, the wave A here overlaps, or even wave 4 overlaps the top of wave 1 here. So do we accept that? I mean, on the S&P it doesn't do that, but the S&P it's more difficult to count this here as well. So on the S&P here, you've got to, we can count this up as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, and then as wave 1, and then a A and a B and a C. We had that count when we first started, you know, but it still leaves wave 3 here a bit short in terms of squares here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, say 4.5, and we've got half here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we're way short, you know, so that makes wave 3 really short here for that. But my thinking is that with these stocks, we just need to be a bit careful in case we've got to count this up here when this finishes to 5 waves here. So yeah, coming back to Facebook here, if this is going to be the case, then we've got wave 1 here and 2 here. Wave 3 was quite powerful, wasn't it? Wave 4 here, and then pushing up one more wave for wave 5 here. So on the 4-hour chart, we can look at it like this here. this third wave here, the 38.2% retracement level, is the 259, which where it is at the moment. Wave 2 here was quite cumbersome. This is really quite small at this stage, so I would expect this to get a bit larger, but if it's going to push up, then you'll need to be on that. And this is also, if you're going to trade that up there, this is in just by the by. So we've got 280 above here, and then we've got 272, which is part of group 2. And then for copy that, we've got 65 here. So you put in 65 and go into the intraday chart here. So what you could do is, if the 65 found support, you could move into that with a smaller position, because this may get a bit more time strung, and then also to add on 272 and then add on 80 and see how far we can push up from that point. We'll be looking for 5 waves up through here that will look a bit like this here. So that's probably how much time we've got to the upside too. You know, if we look at wave 1 here from the end of June there to the 14th, so we've got like 15 days to 15 trading days. So that's how long that could take, depending on how long wave 4 took. And let's have a look at Apple. Okay, so yeah, once again, I mean, looking at this as wave 3 here, but we also need to take it on board and think of wave 5 of wave 1 here as well now for these. I'll need to do some work on this, but we need to take all these tops in the across the indices, across the stocks coming up. I mean, Australia, and even in Australia, we got this thing happening as well. So everybody needs to be a little bit mindful as you know what positions they have in the market after we get this final, well, I don't know about final, this move to the upside here, because if this is a wave 3 here and then we go back for wave 4, that's, you know, we can handle that. But if it's a wave 1, well, then we're going to see a deeper move down to here. So we'll need to go in and check on this, but basically you can see here that we've got wave 1 and 2 in here, and we look to go long here just on that breakout. So we've had 1 and 2, and this is obviously the third wave, so we need to just check this here. So maybe I can go to the tick. Okay, yep, let's just get a bit more data in here. Okay, let's just go through this a little bit, shall we? This is our last stock, and we might as well understand it. Just might go, see if I can get a bit more in there. Okay, so first of all, with this wave 1 here, the way that I viewed it was like this here. Just on, this is 100 ticks, so we've got wave 1 here, wave 2 here, yep, and then wave 3 up here in 5 waves. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, ABC for 4, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Yeah, I know it's ugly, but this one, but that's it. So I think that's the best fit for wave 1 here, and then we get this powerful move to the upside here. And in fact, I've made a mistake there. That needs to go there. So in a nutshell, all of this here is wave 1 and 2 here, 3 here, 4 here, and going up for 5 here. There's probably a case for putting wave 4 in over here as well, but it's not going to make any difference, so I'm not going to spend any time on it. So this pattern here as wave 4 works well. So we've got the first leg down here, then we've got an ABC pattern here. Doesn't count very nicely as 5 waves here, I can see, but looks almost like a B wave there. So what we could do, and this looks impulsive here, I mean wave 4s can get bigger and uglier, but I think it's okay. Well, let's just double check that. So from this low here of wave 2, then up here, which I've already checked. Okay, so we just need to be a bit mindful of this. So This is wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, so the market can pull back to that, and that's the 38.2% retracement level there. So if you've got a position here, then just be mindful that the market can come back and test 425 before moving higher. But if this is correct, then we should just be moving higher from here. So I'm just counting that. It looks like 1 to this point here, then back here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 the third wave, fourth wave. Doesn't count very nicely as a fifth wave here. Almost looks like a an A and a B and a C wave to this point, and then moving up. So we may even get wave 1 sitting here somewhere, and then a pullback for wave 2. So just be a bit careful, mindful about that. Shouldn't pull back too much anyway. What we could do is, if you were looking for a stop, then just taking that high. So 445 is the 61.8%, so you'd need to stop at 442 at the closest, just in case you make a mistake. But otherwise, from that point there, we should see 5 waves to the upside here of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, moving up into group 2 here. But, you know, you've got to say that 500 here, 5 is the second strongest number in the market in my mind, and the market will be gunning for that. So if you are long here, just see if you've got a bit of patience to get to this number here. We'll see if it pushes up that high. I think I can't... you know, looking at this as wave 1 here and 2 here, and even if, oh yeah, wave 3 could take us that high, I guess. 4, 5, yeah, doable. So that means that wave 3 would be up into group 2 here, and then that would be up here. Of course, we need to do wave 4 and 5 here. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Cheers.